Welcome back to the range on this 10th of October 2025. Right, one of the nice things about the gun shop is the different things that come in. So we have new guns come in, second-hand guns come in and so on. And what's just come in now is these 4 pistols. These are all from one client who's leaving Zambia. And they are, okay, so we've got 1 pistol, and then we've got 3 revolvers. All very different guns, and I thought what we'd do is have a quick look at them. We haven't fired any of these, we haven't tested them. We have got the ammunition here that should make them work. We don't have the ammunition for this, but we have the ammunition for the others, and so we're going to also try them. And basically, have a look over these guns. Now, all of them are pretty old. Probably the most modern one is this one, which is a Ruger 357 in stainless steel. I really like these guns. We sold these new. This one's probably 20 years old. Now, one of the nice things about stainless steel guns is, especially here in Zambia, is a lot of our guides in canoes and on safari like to carry these because they've got a lot of stopping power. And especially on river safaris, you can put these in the boat. They can get wet. It's not a big problem. And they don't rust. Made by Ruger in America. Nice wooden grips on here. And this is a 357 caliber, which means it'll also fire 38 special. And if you're practicing with this, it's nice to fire 38 special. It has less recoil, it costs less money, and you can get your eye dialed in. And then for the big stuff, you can fire the 357. Right, so that is nice. Now, we don't know if any of these work with revolvers. They're pretty much bulletproof. They pretty much always work. So we're going to fire this in a minute and see how we go. I really like Ruger as a brand. I think it's really nice. It's a mid-range brand in the States. They do a really nice, funky range of little 22s, right up to some quite decent hunting rifles, snipers rifles, and so on. So, that's our first gun, Ruger 357 in stainless steel. Now, what else have we got? Let's look at this one. This is, this is definitely the oldest gun. Now, this thing here, this thing is, right, it is a, what is this thing? Now, some of you will be guessing or know what this is before I even know what it is. This is an Enfield. Now, Enfield are a British manufacturer. This is out of the UK. Made in, I think this has a date on it somewhere, actually. It should have a date on it somewhere. Let's have a look. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Play some music, cameraman, quickly. So here is a stamp that says Enfield, and underneath, very faintly, it says 1941. I don't know when Enfield as a company was started. If it's 1941, that's why that's date's there. If it's not, then that's the date of the gun. Either way, we know this is an old service revolver from the Second World War. So it was made before the Second World War, just the start. Okay, the caliber of this gun is .38 Smith & Wesson, and also known as wheel gun caliber. And the wheel being the cylinder that revolves. Now, these are really short, stubby rounds, and you can see the length of the chamber is very short. It has a lever here, which basically breaks the gun in half. Ta-da! There you go. And you can see the extractor there. Oh, is that broken? No, that's a location. Okay, so the extractor there pushes all your cartridges out once they're spent, shake it out, stick some more in, close it up, and away you go. And there's this catch mechanism here, which locks into this, this mechanism here, and boom, there you go. This gun, wow, you're never going to cock that with your thumb, I can tell you that. That's sharp as nails and never going to cock. Okay, so that is, okay, there we go. We've got a slight trigger issue going on. All right, so that is unbelievably stiff. I mean, I cannot tell you how hard that is to. Yeah, that's really a mission. Definitely not like our modern day revolvers. Quite interesting. It's got a little hexagonal sort of barrel. It's not quite hexagonal. It's sort of got this flange type thing going on here. The gun is in, it's almost like a sort of Damascus-y type finish. It's not blued as such. I'm guessing a service revolver, they made millions of these, and I'm sure they made them as cheap as possible. It does have a little thing here you can hang it on, and the grips are probably Bakelite. This is a sort of old type of plastic. It's like a plastic Bakelite from pre-war sort of guns on the grip. Now, what else can we tell you about this gun? I've never fired one of these. I'm quite looking forward to firing this. I can't see anything. It's got a whole load of levers and stuff here, but I've no idea what that does. Okay, that's actually how... Okay, so there's a lever here on this side that as you do this, that's what activates your your cartridge extraction. Okay, and this is a 6-shot gun. All right, well, enough waffle from me about this bloody thing. All right, so that's nearly 100 years old. What's that? That's 85 years old, pretty old. Right, this one here. Okay, this. First thing we notice, it's got a screw here, which I guess someone's put in to hang it on or something like that or whatever. We're going to take that out in a minute. I don't like that. Now, this gun here is a Smith & Wesson. It is in 38 Special Smith & Wesson with a long barrel. That's about a 6-inch barrel, I guess. Quite a nice gun, wooden grip. And the age of this, I've no idea what it is. So a quick look at this. We're getting at the light here. This is a Mark V, made in the USA by Smith & Wesson. As a kid, we watched the cowboy films, John Wayne and so we always thought it was Smith & Weston, these guns. But it's Smith & Wesson, isn't it? I only found that about 10 years ago. It's quite embarrassing, really. You know, the Western movies, Western guns, but it's not Smith & Wesson, anyway. Right, the release is there for the cylinder. Clicks out like that. This gun is a 6-shot. And actually quite nice. And I think with the long barrel, we should be able to get some decent accuracy through this. And the final gun is this. And this is a Fabrique Nationale in Belgium, and we know that as an FN. This is a little FN pistol. We can see the FN sign on there. Again, the grips, it's like plastic, but it's got to be Bakelite, I'm sure. The caliber of this is 9mm short. Now, we at this gun shop have run out of 9mm short, so I can't fire this, which is a shame, because I'd quite like to. Okay, so a little 8 to 10 shot magazine, pops in there. There's a slide release here, so that can lock the gun to stop it moving. Okay, this also has the safety back strap as well. You can't fire this gun unless you've got a good grip on it. I can't find a model number on this gun. Maybe some of you guys know. There's not much to tell you about this. It's we can't fire it. Little pistol, come in, yeah. So one of the things I would say is our value. So these guns will go up for sale in this shop, and I would give these a value. And so obviously the customer's up to them to accept our values and put their own value on or whatever. But we're looking at this one about $600 in this shop, and this one about $500, and this one, amazingly, only about $200. And the reason is there's literally no market for these in this country. If you wanted to shoot cattle or something, or even have it just as a home defense gun, it's actually okay. And for $200, it's actually a cheap gun. One of the reasons it's cheap is this ammunition is bloody expensive. This ammunition costs $110 a box. So yeah, very expensive. That's 3 times more than 9mm ammo, almost 4 times. And then this one here, we put a value on this at about $600 for this really nice little Ruger. Now, if I was going to use one of these, I'd definitely take this one because I'm familiar with this gun. It's stainless steel, and they're really very nice and reliable. And it's a multi-use gun. It never rusts. Quite nice. Right, so we're going to fire them and see if we can get some decent groupings, and yeah, go from there. Right, so we're going to load these up and fire these guns. Now, these have been in storage for a long time, and if you get a gun that you're testing, please just check there's nothing in the barrel, because I don't know about other countries, I'm sure it's the same in a lot of places. Here we have these little bugs that crawl into little holes and they build their little mud nest. And one of the things we do see in this shop occasionally is people have left their firearm in a cupboard or something. One of those little bugs, what we call here haws, has crawled in, made its nest, it's like a little wasp, made its little mud nest. The person picks up the gun, bang, blows the barrel up, and that's really, really serious and potentially very dangerous. So all of these guns, we're going to test the barrels for obstructions, really important. So let's have a look. Okay, the barrel is on this one. This is the Enfield. This Enfield, the barrel's clear, right. Okay, this little gun takes 38 Smith & Wesson, which is not the same as 38 Special. All right, so if we look at the two ammos for these different guns, so that is our 38 Smith & Wesson, what is called wheel gun ammunition, and that's the old type of revolver, which this old Enfield is. And if we stick it next to a 38 Special round, we can see the length of the casing. Now don't look at the length around, because this one is a wad cutter, and that's got a flat wad cutting round in there. So normally that would be a bit longer, but look at the size of the casing. So very different rounds, and definitely not to be used in the same gun. What would be interesting is whether this wheel gun ammo would fire in a 38 Special. I'm not going to try that because I don't like guns blowing up and I like my hands. So what we're going to do, we're going to fire. We've got 3 targets out there. We've only got ammo for 3 guns. We're going to fire each of these and see which is the nicest to shoot and the most fun to shoot. Now, this wheel gun ammo, $110 a box here in Zambia. Ouch, it's expensive. Yeah, it's we're only going to fire 6 rounds. It's $2 a round, man. That's crazy. All right, so here we go. Okay, so here's the Enfield. Now, I'm a bit nervous about firing this. I've never fired one before. It's bloody old. It's an ammunition I've never used before. We've got a whole bucket of these things in the shop, and over the years they've accumulated, and one of the reasons is very few people want this old design, but also the ammunition is very expensive, and we've never had the ammunition before. We've had to import this from America. It's taken a while to get here, and it's very expensive. So first time we've ever used one of these. It's nice to be able to actually finally use one. But let me tell you, I am a bit nervous about this. So here we go. And we're firing at 8 yards. Okay, so we fired 2 rounds. Both of them have gone high, which is okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But now the gun is refusing to, so it's refusing to cycle the next round. So let's give it another whiz. Yeah, so I'd say, okay, so we fired 2 rounds. The gun said, enough, we're done. Out of 85 years down the line, and this gun's like, I don't want to work anymore. Okay, so this makes this gun extremely hard to sell. I'd say impossible to sell, really, because it just doesn't work. It might be that our gunsmith can fix that. I don't know. So there's the rounds, boom. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to mess around with this anymore. I'm going to stick these rounds back in the box. Okay, gun is safe. And I'm going to give it to my gunsmith and see if he can fix it. Bit disappointing, but not that, you know, we do have even brand new guns. You watch the Remington rifle that we went hunting with the other day. I mean, even that had a problem. So these things, you know, when you fire them, they're under a lot of pressure. So it's not that surprising that we've had an issue. Okay, so this is from the Enfield, and these are the only 2 rounds we managed to put down out of that gun. I was aiming for here, and it's shooting quite high. Unfortunately, because it jammed and has decided not to work anymore, that's all we're going to get. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the same target with the Ruger 357 with 38 Special wad cutters in, and see if we can hit the target. Right, the next gun we're going to fire is my stainless steel Ruger 357, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to fire 38 Special through this, mainly because I prefer it. Okay, here we go. And remember what I said, check the barrel before you fire a gun that's been sitting for a while. I've just checked the barrel on this. All good, we're ready to go. Right, stick some of these on. Okay, so this is a Ruger. I'm familiar with this gun. I like these guns a lot. We've sold a few. Okay, let's go. Okay, gun's clear and empty. Right, let's go and see if we hit anything. Let's go. Right, we've got 5 rounds there. I'm thinking one went through the same hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no other one on the target. I don't think I missed the target, so I'm hoping that that's the 5. It's shooting a bit high. Maybe that's me. Maybe it's the sights on the gun. The Ruger has a lovely trigger. It's quite light, I would actually happily shoot that all day. In fact, I'm going to give it another go and see if I can shoot better. Let's go. Okay, gun is clear. Right, let's go and see what happened. Right, so now we know where the gun's firing, slightly different result. All right, so we've got 2 in the bull, 1 on the edge of the bull, and 3 there. That's my 6 there. Not bad at all. I'm happy with that. That Ruger is lovely. I'd buy that all day long. I think that's absolutely fantastic gun. Right, we're going to now test the long barrel, whatever it was, I can't remember. We're going to test the long barrel gun and see. We should be able to get a better grouping, and we'll try it on that target over there. Let's go. Right, so this is our 38 Smith & Wesson, made by Smith & Wesson. It's long barrel revolver, really quite nice. I like that, it's very nice. And this, is, with being a long barrel, should be easy to shoot relatively nicely. Now there's that screw in the end. I'm going to go and get a screwdriver and take that out because it's really actually not nice. It's right where your fingers go. How strange. Okay, let's get rid of that. Ready? Go. Ta-da. Right, that's gone. So we took that little screw out. I've no idea why it was there. Maybe that's an original hole. Let's have a look. No, I think somebody's tapped that in there so they could actually put a little ring or something. Anyway, there it is. So, right, this is 38 Special. Now, let's load it up. Right, here we go. Okay, so we have a problem here. That's not going to go in. So what is going on here? Okay, that's very tight. That's very tight. That won't go in. Okay, so we can see there's an issue. Let's have a look. Won't go in, won't go in. All right, out of 6 rounds, only 1, this one will go in. The rest are all, there's something wrong here. And so what we're going to do, I really want to fire this. We're going to take this to the gunsmith and we're going to clean this up. Now that problem of these rounds not going in might be a residue problem. So there's residue in the actual cylinder, or it might be from some damage, but I don't think so. There's another possibility I've only just considered. This gun might have been reblued. And if you reblue a firearm, the residue of rebluing within the cylinder will actually stop around, and it's only like a fraction of a millimeter, but it'll actually stop around going in. I don't know why these rounds won't go in. As I said, only 1 loads and the rest do not load. So we're going to quickly go to the gunsmith shop, get some tools, and we'll come back and see if we can make these load into this firearm. Okay, so as you can see, we're drilling with a copper brush, and we're just skimming with this copper brush. We're just skimming the chambers of this barrel, of this cylinder, to actually see if we can get this ammunition to fit nicely. And what's happened, and as you can see now, as I load this gun, we've actually managed to skim. I mean, it's such a fraction that's been skimmed off. Now, the question is this ammunition fractionally bigger than the ammunition that's historically been used in this gun, or has this been reblued and hasn't been used since the rebluing process, and the rebluing actually was coating the inside of these cylinders, the chambers, and that's why it wouldn't fit? I can't answer that. So anyway, one or the other, these rounds now fit perfectly like this, and we are now going to fire this gun and see if we can beat the Ruger 357. All right, so the first thing I notice is very nice trigger, very, very nice trigger. It's a single stage, quite, I wouldn't say heavy, medium pull, but lovely trigger, but I wasn't actually really ready for it to go there. What we can see from where we fired is about 3 inches above the bull. Let's go again. And the pullback on the hammer is very heavy. It's very, very heavy indeed. Okay, that's almost in the bull, just above. Pull it back. Ugh, there we go. That's in the same hole as the previous one. Ugh. And this should be the last one. Let's see if we can get a bullseye here. Oh, there we go. Okay, I thought I'd fired 5. Let's see, make sure they've all gone. Okay, very interesting. I was right. We've got a round here that has not fired. And quite why, I'm not sure. Let's see if we can let that go this time. The hammer hasn't struck it. I don't know what happened there. Okay, here we go. Let's see where that round is, shall we? Okay, so hopefully this will go. Yay, I think that's the bullseye that I was looking for. Right, so we've dumped those out of the cylinder. This gun now works. The only thing I would say is it's just so heavy on the hammer, and didn't seem to want to fire. Yeah, like that. Wow, that's heavy, eh? I mean, I think this is an old service revolver from 1,000 years ago. It's fun. I'd buy this just to sort of add to a collection and so on. Let's go and see how we did on the target. Right, so we can see our 6 rounds. These were the first 2 here, and then we brought it in. That was my last shot. Finally got the bullseye. Very interesting. You can see this little tail coming off these rounds. And so what I think is happening, these are wad cutters, and I think they're slightly rotating in the air and not going in perfectly straight like, say, some of our other rounds. Like a round like this, if you look at this, these rounds are going in straight here. It looks like these wad cutters are coming in slightly off center. So not bad at all. I really like that revolver. Now, while we were in our gun safe, we actually found another revolver we've never fired. So let's have a quick look at that. Right, now, so while we were in the gun safe looking for ammunition, we found this. And it's probably been sitting there for 10 years. And the reason we haven't sold this or hasn't moved on is because we've never had this ammunition. This is the 38 Smith & Wesson ammo, also called the wheel gun ammunition. And we've only just managed to get it. And so this is a really interesting little gun. This is a Colt, 6-inch barrel, same mechanism as the one we've just been reviewing, okay? This looks really nice. It's got a little wooden handle. The other one was Bakelite on the other revolver we were looking at. And what a lovely gun. So we're going to fire this and see if we can get some decent accuracy with it. I really like this. Now, I don't know what model it is. There's nowhere on the gun it says what model it is. There's some very faded writing here, which I think is simply the Colt with the address. It looks like it's the address of where they were built. I'm sure many of you can give me a better idea of how old this gun is and what model it is and so on. Drop it in the comments. Here in Zambia, we'd sell a gun like this for about $400 because the demand is relatively low. But if you were at home for self-defense, or if you want to do, shoot a pig or a cattle in the head or something on a farm, this is an ideal gun to do it with. All right, I really like these old revolvers. I think they've got history, they've got character, they've got this sort of unique patina that you don't see on a new gun. It takes years and years to build up that patina. So we're going to fire this and see if we can beat the previous one we just fired. Right, here we go. Now, one thing I haven't done, this revolver's been sitting for probably 10 years. I've loaded it up, ready to go, and then I thought, I didn't check the barrel for obstructions, which is possible. So I'm going to dump this ammo out, and I'm now going to check this barrel for obstructions. Sounds paranoid, but the smallest thing you only get one chance. And if that's had a bug in it and it's built a nest in there and I fire it, that's a big problem. I'm going to check this and then we'll fire it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I can see the barrel is clear. I can see it perfectly well using a cell phone light. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to load it. We know it's safe and hopefully no issues. So let's give it a whiz. Here we go. I'm going to aim for the bottom left of our target there. So I'll save our targets. Okay, here we go. Should be it, I think. 6 rounds. There we go, 6 rounds. Push those out and the gun is empty, and that's how we leave it on the desk there. So we can see there's nothing in it. I must say, it's a single stage trigger, which all these revolvers are. No fancy stuff with them, they're all service revolvers type thing. The trigger's really nice. For an old gun, works perfect, gun's really nice. Very little recoil. So let's go and see how we did on the target. Not particularly well, but let's give it a go. Right, I don't think I missed one. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think probably one went through one of these holes as well. Maybe that one was 2 in there. I think that's 2 there, yeah. That's not as accurate as I'd expect from a gun like that, with a longer barrel, but certainly adequate for self-defense and for whatever you want to use it for. Very cheap gun here in Zambia, $400. Yeah, on to the next review. We'll see you next time.